Hello, this is Double Take with Alex and John Safey. It's a very solemn night here in Walsh Hall where we're recording. This is our first podcast we're doing here, but we were actually planning to do a podcast tonight talking about the All-Star teams and, of course, the unexpected and truly tragic, happened. And Kobe Bryant and his daughter, along with a few others, were killed in an awful helicopter accident. So tonight, John, we're just, we're going to talk about Kobe for a little bit, share our thoughts, and just try to pay some respects to him.
It's obviously very soon still. It's very fresh, so, we don't want this episode to be too long or anything. But we did want to just, talk about, how much Kobe did mean to the game of basketball, to the NBA, and just to the world in general, like, as someone who was just iconic at what he did, someone who preached hard work, and someone who we can learn a lot of life lessons from through what he did. But first, I would just say it still doesn't feel real. It's crazy, as an NBA fan, like hearing that news, and me and Alex and Will, our friend Will, were just chilling in our dorm here. We were sitting on the couch, like playing 2K, just chilling, and we one of my friends from back home texted, and he
TMZ.
said, and he sent the TMZ one. He said Kobe died, and immediately I'm like, no way, like I was denying it.
I think that was everyone's reaction
for the first hour, and you're so shocked. Like I thought about back, like I feel like within the past 10 years, I remember hearing like, oh, Adam Sandler died. Like you just think,
I've seen that too.
When you hear this stuff, you just think it's a hoax right away, and that's what I thought. And I go to Twitter right away. I told Alex and Will while we were just sitting there. I was like, guys, like, no. And I didn't want to say it out loud because I didn't want to speak it. I literally waited like a full minute before I was like, what? No way. There's no way. Mm-hmm. I checked Twitter and you start seeing people like Paul George tweets.
Yeah.
Like, quit playing.
Stop playing.
Luka saying, no, this can't be true.
No.
I'm shaking.
Really, I looked on my Twitter and that's what all it was. I was scrolling. It's just all NBA players just saying no.
Reporters,
like, this isn't real.
Everyone. And one of our friend back home who texted that, Liam, shout out Liam, he said, oh no guys, like this is real. Kobe would have like within 30 minutes, like Kobe would have tweeted something and said something if this wasn't real. And that's when I started to think like, shoot, that's absolutely true.
I was just praying.
It wasn't a hoax. And obviously there was a lot of different things coming. Was he on the helicopter? Was one of his daughters, all of his daughters, all this stuff about where he was coming from was all the media was trying to figure out what was confirmed and what wasn't. And once it all was, everything kind of just exploded. Just like the sports world, like people like President Barack Obama, saying things. Pretty much everyone.
I think this one tweet I read put it in perspective, and it was like, can you remember the last time that like nothing else mattered in the world? Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like for me. Like we were doing our thing, we were doing some homework, whatever, just chilling, and like I dropped everything, and I just couldn't focus on anything else. That was just the only thing that was on my mind. And then the other thing that really hit me is going and meeting with our other friends and meeting other people who were not even big basketball fans or like big sports fans or anything like that, and them being like, this is unreal. Like, like that's just how, broad of like a reach and just influence that someone like Kobe Bryant had. And he was on, one of the few people who's, he's on that single name basis. You say Kobe and like everyone knows who you're talking about.
That is a big thing.
And it really is it's not just, the NBA or basketball or even the country. It's really like the world. Like Kobe, after probably MJ, or probably right there with MJ, is easily the most in my opinion, the most influential basketball player. Everyone wanted to be him, and we really saw that today manifest itself when we're watching the NBA games and everyone on the court is crying. And then people like seeing the old clips resurface of like, I saw one of Tyler Hero. They said, who was like, who'd you look up to as you grew up? And he just one word, Kobe. And for so many guys, it's like that, Devin Booker, DeMar DeRozan, Trae Young, who all those three guys played tonight. And, I saw some clips of them talking after, and it's just, it was a really cool thing with Trae Young we saw he came out, wore number 8. And then I don't know if you saw it, John, because you just,
Young was playing, but he wore number 8?
He wore number 8 to start the game. he had a jersey, young.
Yeah, he's number 11.
He's number 11. But so then he had the rest of the game he wears 11. But then I saw I have it right here. He's the first player to have a 45-point double-double with under 25 field goal attempts against. This was tonight against the Wizards.
Tonight he did that?
So he did that. He was the first person to do that since Kobe Bryant in 2006, which was just crazy. And then that kind of brings me to, I'll give it back to you. What do you think about how crazy is it, about since last night? That was your first reaction last night with, LeBron.
Yeah, so I did want to talk about
passing Kobe. And then to hear that news, which is why also I think it was so shocking, because Kobe was just like in a lot of the news going around, and then immediately it's like this happens, like, no.
Yeah, I do want to talk about that, the timing of this all, and that's another reason why immediately I was like thinking like, oh, this is a hoax. Like, what is it, TMZ? What are their sources? What is this? Like, can someone legit confirm this, please?
Yeah.
And my thought was, I immediately was thinking about what I was doing last night, which I was hanging out with some friends watching a movie, but on my phone, I was watching the Lakers-Sixers game because I wanted to see the moment that LeBron passed it, and just by luck, right when I looked down on my phone, I saw LeBron drive, and he hit. That was the layup that he had when he passed Kobe, and everyone went. Even people, there was Laker fans in Philly, they were all cheering for him, and I was just thinking about what a significant moment this is, that LeBron James, right, who we knew, he was gonna surpass Kobe. He's he's surpassed MJ last season for most points all time. One day he'll probably catch Kareem, depending on how long he plays. Yeah. We knew this was going to come. But the significance of him, like, going to L.A., right? He obviously played for the Cavaliers for 7 years, Miami for 4, back to Cleveland for 4 more, and then went to L.A. But, like, that summer, what year was it? 2018, when he signed with the Lakers, it was like, where's he going to go? Where's he going to go? And, me and Alex were obviously saying, oh, he should go to the Heat. It's the best basketball decision. But LeBron knew that he was going to be passing, all these guys. He wanted to pass all the other Lakers, like, Kobe, I guess Carmelo, count him, and Kareem. And, like, the fact that he chose to do that with LA, with the historic franchise, all this. So him playing for the Lakers while he passed Kobe, right, was a big deal.
Oh,
and, like,
absolutely.
The fact that, like, so the first thing one of the first few things I started thinking about was how LeBron feels about this, right? LeBron is someone who, if you heard him talking last night after the game, obviously before Kobe had passed, LeBron was talking about how impactful Kobe was to LeBron's career, his life. Yeah. How Kobe gave him a pair of shoes and he wore them.
When he was in high school, and he said Kobe was size 14 and I was a size 15, right. But I didn't care. I wore him anyway in a high school game.
Right, and cool. And how much LeBron looked up to him, and was a guy who then he came into the league, and now LeBron's competing with this guy at age 18, and LeBron talked about he was never planning on jumping from high school to go straight to the NBA, but then obviously once he ended up being that great, looking at guys like Kobe who did it, it kind of paved the way for LeBron. So LeBron talking about all this, then gets on a level where he's competing with him, gets on a level where he's on a few Olympic teams.
Yeah, he wins gold
medals with him, right? So that's that generation, like the little brother generation, like the LeBrons, the Dwayne Wades, the KDs, the Carmelos. Those are like the little brothers, and then there's all like the new ones that you talked about, like the Trae Young, Devin Booker, I don't know, D'Angelo Russell, Lonzo Ball, whoever. These guys, Tyler Hero now, who's literally our age, who the time that Tyler Hero was 10 years old the last time Kobe won a championship, right? So even extra young. So these guys that looked up to him, idolized him like this, and then the generation that actually got to play with him, right? And I'm just thinking for LeBron, this is a hero, a friend, someone who's on his level as well. Yeah. And after the significance of last night happening, LeBron's on the Lakers too this season, Kobe's team obviously. And then what happened last night, then coming to this morning, news he finds out,
and then he lands and off the plane.
Obviously LeBron hasn't said anything yet.
Yeah,
and we know he's devastated. He's crushed.
Absolutely, no doubt. And that's what I was gonna say is I looked at my notification center just because I was thinking about it all, and I scrolled through, and literally this is the order. It was breaking. LeBron passes Kobe, so he passed him. The next one is Kobe congratulates LeBron, and that was his tweet that Kobe tweeted, which was Kobe's last tweet. And then the next one was LeBron pays respect to Kobe, which is a 4-minute video or 5-minute video of LeBron talking about his,
which I mentioned,
which we were talking about with the shoes and all that, which was, especially watching that again today, it was really honestly pretty sad. And then the next one is LBJ in tears after Kobe news. So just everything happening just so quick and just all the way it happened. And then I was thinking about this aspect. Obviously, a helicopter going down, it'd be tragic regardless of who it is. Like anyone, like
Yeah,
that's a
news.
fluke accident. That's
Even if
insane.
it's just any person,
And
any
the fact
human
that-
life being taken by
And the
that way
fact
is
that
horrible.
it was that, which is like a freak accident, and then someone who was so beloved,
prominent
and
figure.
a prominent celebrity, passing as well. I mean, that's why.
But then the
I
fact
can't remember anything else like this. Obviously, we're
it's-
only 20, but
You're right. The fact that it's a global citizen like Kobe, right? He's from Italy, I believe, and
Oh, yeah,
he
he
speaks
grew
a lot
up
of
in
different
Italy.
languages, right? There was a story
Oh, yeah.
earlier this year when he started speaking Slovenian.
Oh yeah,
To
dude, that feels like the other day.
right,
That was like 2
speaking
weeks
Slovenian
ago.
to Luca on the sideline,
man.
and so. There was a story earlier this year too where he was just a good person. Kobe, there was a car accident and Kobe started directing traffic.
Yeah, that was, like, a month
He
ago.
really was excited coming into this role now as a post NBA player. He was doing his ESPN detail
that was
thing.
sick.
He won an
Oscar
for a
that
short film. Yeah.
And then the Mom Academy, which I think that's a good segue to John. I wanted to touch on this was, speaking of how he literally retired 3.5 years ago. So he's just beginning the new phase of his life.
Yeah, he had so
'cause
much to
obviously
offer.
Up to that point, his life is basically basketball for the most part. And then going to where a lot of stuff that we were seeing from him was everything in the involvement with him and his daughter and her basketball team and coaching her, and then the fact that she was on the plane as well is I just have
It's
no
just
words.
devastating.
And what I was gonna say is now I was obviously on Twitter, we're seeing all the clips of him and her sitting courtside, because we were seeing a lot of that in the last couple months, them sitting courtside at basketball games. There was the clip of him when he was
Him
on,
teaching her.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
and they're on Jimmy Kimmel.
It's so heartbreaking.
Yeah, and so I just saw a clip today where he was on Jimmy Kimmel, and Kimmel asks about his daughter, and he's like, yeah, she definitely wants to be in the WNBA, all this stuff, and just talking about how you can really tell. I mean, she has that same drive and that
The
the
mom
desire,
mentality,
yeah, the
right?
mom
And-
mentality to
And I was talking with my
be
dad
like him.
today about this, and mom mentality, it's just something that whether you watch basketball, you didn't love it, or not, you're not into sports, mom mentality, that motto, that work ethic, that's something that everyone can take into their own lives. It's a lesson that that Kobe he's taught us all.
Yeah.
So the motto for 2020 is gonna be mom mentality, and
Forever,
I
man.
hope that'll be Kobe's legacy, is just how hard he worked, and that's something that LeBron spoke a lot to in that 4-minute clip of him
Yeah.
after the game, talking about
Yeah.
being good isn't being talented, that's not enough, right? Like LeBron, I think that's Kobe's legacy, is that he taught us how hard work
go farther,
will take you
go the
farther,
extra
yeah.
mile. And that just also I was reflecting on that, kind of thinking about his impact on me, because it's clearly he's impacted so many people, but on me personally, obviously D Wade is always gonna be my favorite player. I'm from Miami, obviously, love the Heat, but just about the way I think about playing basketball or playing any stupid game, whether it's sitting playing cards with my friends, playing 2K, anything, or just in general, it's you want you want to be like Kobe, you
Yeah.
want to be
You wanna
step on the throat. You
throat.
want to so that I think just that is what just the competitive nature just really resonates with everyone, and really just he's truly it's inspirational. And that's actually reminds me of another clip I saw today was so Jay Williams was there's something so damn uplifting about Kobe. He's just being around Kobe was
Yeah.
it just made you want to be better and push yourself in every aspect of your life, he said. And I'm that's just, I think that's really his that's a big part of Kobe's legacy.
Yeah, I mean, the Grammys are tonight, and I'm just scrolling through Twitter. Alicia Keys brought Boys to Men on stage for an acoustic rendition of "It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday" to pay a tribute to the late NBA legend Kobe. And obviously the Pro Bowl was today as well, and the NFL was also had their tribute for him.
Yeah.
So we got the
And
music world, the NFL,
Yeah.
we had former presidents.
At the Pro
this is how
Bowl-
big of a person
The
Kobe
Pro Bowl,
Bryant
they
was.
erupted in Kobe chant,
Yeah.
everywhere, in every arena. In the NBA, they were doing the 8-second violation, the 24-second violation, which is kind of funny. I never thought about the
Right.
8 and the 24.
And
but-
one thing I had thought of was, how is the NBA going to put their stamp on this season? And
Yeah.
I'm sure every team's going to be wearing, or at least the Lakers for sure will be wearing that Kobe.
I would bet every team
the Kobe,
they're gonna be something, because
the
right now
Kobe
they have
patch
the
on the jersey.
They have the black stripe for David Stern, who also, you know, they just this year in general, like
Wow,
just thinking about a lot of the
I
people
forgot
that
about
have
the
been
David
passing, but you know, between David Stern
Yeah.
and Kobe, and then
I mean, one more thing is, you know, Alex and I were lucky enough at age 12 we went on a family trip to LA, Los Angeles, and we caught a Lakers-Clippers game in Staples Center, which was awesome.
yeah,
And I wanted to go back and look at that box score because I remember Kobe dropping like insane
he went
amount of
off.
points.
He went off. Like
And-
the whole thing was like Lob City, but Kobe was just
Yeah,
cold,
it was-
man.
And it was they lost by 5 to the Clippers. That was the year that the whole Dwight Howard, Steve Nash team wasn't that great.
Oh
But
yeah,
Kobe dropped 38. So,
Yeah.
you know, obviously I don't remember it that well. We went to a lot of games when we were younger, watching LeBron and Wade, and I do wish I remembered some of them better. But, you know, that's something that's pretty cool that we got to
And
see him play in our
he was
lifetime.
obviously a superstar in like every aspect of that. I think like he definitely transcends basketball, but just that, like, that's like, if as just like an all-star, as a superstar in the NBA, like that's like what you like for us. We saw him one time, and what we remember is that he literally like went off. And like think about like how many times like people have just like seen him, or just like 1 or 2 times like that happened. Which I think that just speaks to how great he was. Like that's why you go and you watch these players. You
Yeah.
want to go see them be great.
And, you know, it really is just looking for this. I really, when you start thinking about it, you know, when someone dies, obviously, you start thinking about them in a different way. And you really think about Kobe, and like, he arguably is like the most impactful player to the NBA players in this generation, right? LeBron,
Yeah,
you could
I
say
think
LeBron
so.
for sure, but LeBron's still
But
playing.
LeBron, I would say LeBron's more like even like
On
the
their
next
level more.
generation.
Right.
No, on the next generation.
Right.
Because Kobe impacted the guys,
sure.
including LeBron, down to the guys
Yeah.
like us.
And
you
then
know?
MJ is like was older. Like the guys who
Yeah.
are playing now, some of them might not even watch MJ, right? Like the younger guys, you know, Tyler Hero's literally our age.
Well,
We
yeah,
never watched
That's what I liked
MJ.
what Lonzo Ball said. He said, Kobe was my generation's Michael Jordan, if you think about it.
And he
it
was,
really true.
you know, like there was this time. So MJ retires, and there's kind of like this little period of time, you know, after MJ retired in the early 2000s. Like, all right, who's the next guy gonna be? Like, what's going on? You know, there was like the Spurs at the time, like the Tim Duncan and Shaq, but it was clearly Kobe once he came into his own after the three-peat in the beginning, and then once they split with Shaq, and then he had the repeat later with Pau Gasol, and like that was just at that point, you know, Kobe was the guy there. He was the standard to set,
Yeah.
and you know that's why all the players, all the kids, us, even, you know, we obviously we're not in the NBA, but like us looking up, we played basketball in middle school and high school, and
Yeah.
we know that's who we watched it when we were kids, and like looking up to, that's who we looked up to, and it's Kobe.
And like I said earlier, you know, just talking to other people, like other friends who like aren't big basketball people or sports people, and even them like feeling the impact. And like when I was just talking about just with my friend on the phone, Mike, about he was saying like about, you know, just throwing stuff in the trash and saying like Kobe, like just everything
that's
from,
something
like, down
he'll
to
be
that, you
remembered
know,
for, right? And
which is why he really, like, that's what I said before, you know, about just how his influence, and like he was really like maybe not the top 3 best NBA players of all time, but easily I would say top 2
Yeah.
or top 3 most influential.
or even like looking at a video game like 2K. You know, today we were playing 2K we did on my league. We drafted our own fantasy team on 2K, and like last week I drafted Kobe on my team after LeBron and MJ got taken. This week I think you took Alex, and like just playing video games with him. Like this is how big he is, right? And like kind of like you said, like even people who don't really are into sports, like our friend Mike. Or our friend Emily Jane too. She came over today and she came up and was like, I can't believe how sad I am. Like, you know, like she's someone who like she's aware of sports, and she knows who players are and stuff, and she pays a good amount of attention, but you know, she's not like a super huge fan or anything, and she's like, I just didn't think I'd be this sad. Like,
Yeah,
I don't, and similarly for us, like, you know, we're Heat fans. You know, we like Dwayne Wade and LeBron, and like obviously we take LeBron, and there's always the debate, Kobe or LeBron, and
Yeah.
we were always taking LeBron.
Forget that debate
But
right now.
no, of course. But the debate, it's like, you know, now that when this stuff happens, like you
don't care
really
about
start,
it.
yeah. And since he retired, I've really started like appreciating and thinking about him a lot more in that way. And you know, of course, his death's gonna, it's just one of the saddest
I think the
days
reason it's really
in
just
M-
tugging-
maybe in NBA history.
It's tugging on everyone's heartstrings, especially just because of his family, and thinking that he has, you know,
His wife,
3 daughters.
3 daughters still alive.
3 daughters, you know, one's I think 17, one's 3 years old, and one's like 6 months or 7 months.
One was
like
just
that.
born in
And
June
then his
or July, I
wife,
believe.
and they have to, you know, they're living now without him, and their sister. Like how sad is that? That's
Yeah,
I have no words.
It's
there's nothing
listen,
you can say.
like we
It's
said,
terrible.
as a human being, it's a devastating story. But as someone that was as much of an inspiration and just an iconic, not just player but a person, as Kobe,
Yeah.
it really is just devastating. And some other cool things. The Mavericks are going to retire his jersey, which
Yeah, I like that, and I think
that's
more teams
awesome.
should do
I'm
that
sure
too,
more
you know?
teams will. I feel the Heat. I feel like I would predict they might do something like that. As
Yeah, I can see
they've retired Michael Jordan's jersey, even though he'd never played for them. But there was other things thrown out there. I thought I was in a meeting today for a club I'm in, and I was thinking about this. I was like, if every game got canceled, or if every team canceled one game for their season,
Yeah.
then it'd be an
81
81 game season, which would signify Kobe
I know.
because of his 81-point game. But then apparently that was all over Twitter, which I thought of it independent, which I did.
No.
And then there was another
I'm not gonna
idea
give you credit.
about in the All-Star game, if all of Team Giannis or Team LeBron, one team were all number 8, the other team were all number 24. And I'm sure, All-Star weekend will be,
Oh, yeah,
there'll be a
they'll think
lot
of
of
something,
memorials and
they'll think of
dedications to
something.
Kobe, and who knows, maybe this, even this, the Staples Center, they'll put a statue up. They might even, who knows, they're going to name it something after him. And another thing is, going back to the topic of LeBron, he, of course, for the next, he's devastated today and for the next few days, but after it blows over in the next few weeks and he's got his mindset back on basketball, he's going to be motivated to dedicate this season to Kobe and how much he
Yeah.
meant to LeBron and LeBron's success as a player and as a person. And the Lakers this season, if they win a championship, that would be extremely significant
and that
to
is-
signify
that is
Kobe.
The first thing that I thought, as far as basketball, the first thing I was thinking of when I saw this was obviously how awful it is and like the sadness and the fact his family and all that. But then thinking about it on basketball is like it reminded me kind of after the bombings at the Boston Marathon, the Red Sox just really embraced it and they won they won the championship,
Right.
the what's it called, the World Series that year, which was like so huge for the city, and it was like bigger than like baseball, it's bigger than sports, it was more about the community and just like everyone coming together. And LA loves Kobe, like it's not even obviously everyone loves Kobe,
like
but
a
LA,
god. He is like a
yeah,
god.
like there's no words to describe. They absolutely adore him. So
They almost love him
For
more
them-
than the Lakers.
yeah,
It's
they
like
probably honestly
Kobe,
they do.
They're,
It's like
they're
more-
Kobe fans.
Yeah.
But
Anyway, so if they were to, I guess that's what I was thinking of. The Lakers are in position to potentially do that, which would be, really cool and really.
Yeah, one more
really
cool
touching.
thing I just saw on Twitter. Trae Young and Devin Booker, two guys looking up to Kobe as they're the younger generation looking up to him as they were growing up, idolizing him. They both shot 24 field goals tonight, and they combined for 81 points, which obviously, they couldn't have planned that, but it
Oh,
really
maybe, I
is.
don't know.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
yeah, Trae had 45 and Devin Booker had 36, so
Yeah.
combined for 81, both shot 24 field goals.
Oh, combined for 81.
They combined for 81 points, yeah. It's just crazy.
It's crazy, man. It's life.
Yeah.
Nothing else really to say
Yeah.
about this. It's awful.
It's a devastating day.
Our thoughts and our prayers and our hearts go out to all the families affected. 'Cause
Right, his,
as much as it's everyone knows about Kobe, there was other people affected, and
It was his,
let's pray
one
for
of his
them
daughter's
too.
teammates and the,
Yeah,
and
the
the parents.
teammate and the parents, pilot or whoever
But,
else. Thoughts and prayers go out to them.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening, and
Yeah,
rest in peace, Kobe. Mom
Rest in peace.
mentality for all
Legend.
2020.
heroes get remembered, but legends never die.